What's going on? Had to. Someone left. So as you could see, I'm on the other side of the house today. The pool was occupied, so I was evicted from the pool side. So welcome to Backyard Beverage, Coffee with Cannon, Bitchin' with Bill, whatever you'd prefer. There's a lot to bitch about, you know. Uh, Crazy, crazy, crazy. So one of the big stories, and I may do a show about this afternoon at 4 or 5 o'clock, is the Ruth Ann Griffin. Hello, Ruth Ann. Mary, good afternoon. It's the immigration coming from Texas, and the Texas governor is now putting them on buses and sending them to Washington, D.C. and to New York City. And of course, the mayor of D.C. and the mayor of New York City are absolutely freaking out. But you know, it's the irony in it is that Jolene, how are you? The irony in it is that Governor Abbott from Texas has been dealing with this the entire. Marie Green, how are you? Susie, hello from Melbourne, Australia. So good to see you. The Texas governor has been dealing with this, Governor Abbott, for the entire time Joe Biden's been president. And he's probably gotten, I don't know, I don't even have the estimate of how many people, 70, 80,000 people have come in to his state, and he just basically all day deal with it. And, you know, illegal aliens, it's against the law. So he's trying to come up with, hello, Matty Boy Sully. He's trying to come up with solutions that are best for his state, because obviously the federal government is not doing the right thing. So, lo and behold, Washington, D.C. and New York City are sanctuary cities, even though that's against the law. That's a city. Look at the rain. The rain's pouring down right now. Why? I may have to move up a little bit so I don't get wet. Wow, good thing I didn't do this by the pool. You hear the rain, guys? It sounds pretty cool. We need rain because it's been really, really hot here, and if you can see, the grass is burning up in spots. But so, getting back to this migrant thing, he's sending them to Democrat cities that are sanctuary, which means they will not try to deport or evict migrants or illegal aliens. Let's use that term, illegal aliens. So they're such hypocrites, though. They're disobeying the law by being a sanctuary city. It's totally against the law. But they're crying about Abbott is ridiculous. Abbott's sending all of these people. And you know the crazy thing? These folks are coming into the country, and I'm not unsympathetic to them, but you shouldn't be coming into the United States illegally. And they all show up with a cell phone. They all look like they haven't missed a meal. They're fine. So they just want to get on the American bandwagon of getting shit for free. That's basically what they want to do. They want all the services that this country provides for free, as we, the taxpayers, which, if you've been paying attention, they just passed nearly $1 trillion bill. They call it the climate bill, the recession reduction bill. The things they name it are just total bullshit. They name it so that you say, oh yes, the recession. Oh, it's going to reduce the recession. No, it's going to increase the recession. It's just the stuff. And one of the things in this new bill that they passed, and I don't know if you paid attention, it passed 51-50 in the Senate. So along partisan lines, that 51st vote, guess who that is? It's the Vice President of the United States, Kamala Harris, had to jump in and vote. So it passed 51-50, and now it goes to the Congress, and apparently it's going to pass pretty easily in the Congress, and then it's going to go to President Biden, who's going to sign it, no doubt. I just can't. I don't know. I just can't understand this stuff. Just crazy. It's like $1 trillion bill, or close to $1 trillion bill, and most of it's for climate. change, and they're taxing. They're going to be taxing the hell out of the fossil fuel industry to try to force people to buy electric cars. It's just the partisanship nature of this. You know, I didn't want this to be about politics, but so all of these things are interconnected. You know, this migrant thing, or they're coming into our country illegally, and then we're supposed to feel sorry for them, that we now need to provide them with a living, with food, housing, education, medical care. That's what we must do. I mean, what am I missing? Am I missing anything, guys? Can anyone tell me why we as American citizens owe that to people who migrate to our country illegally? Can anyone tell me? Richard Resendez, hello, Bill. Please answer my questions. Barty, that's another thing. 87,000 new IRS agents. So it's like, why don't they go after Congress and the senators that insider trade? That's who they should go after. They're all insider trading. That's who we need, not 87,000 new IRS agents. We need to go after real corruption, and that's it. That's it, you know. Congress people, senators, insider trading. That's fine. Can anyone answer me how someone becomes a senator, or they get into Congress, and their salary is $165,000 a year, and 10 years later they are multimillionaires? Sandra Lee, how do you think that Roe overturned will affect crime? I think it will have a negligible effect on crime, although people argue that you know, one of the reasons that crime went back or was reduced in the 80s and 90s so much wasn't crime fighting techniques but abortion. I don't know if I have the credentials to really comment about that. Sergeant Bill, we have the illegal immigrants pouring into Dover, but the politicians ignore. Dover, Delaware? That's where Joe Biden's from? He's from Delaware. They also did some little trickery here in Westchester. They landed a plane in the middle of the night in Westchester Airport filled with illegal aliens and just unloaded it into Westchester. How do they get away with this stuff? How? I mean, I guess it's legal for politicians to do illegal stuff. Moonlight View, that's true. The politicians become millionaires. Oh, Sergeant Bill, Dover, UK. Oh, okay. There's also a place in Delaware called Dover. J.D. Bambara. Jamie Pimentel, boxing MMA. Kim, yes, thousands a day. Unbelievable. Matty Boy Sully. Hi, Moonlight. I wonder if things became so bad in this country and we wanted to flee the United States, if other countries would be as sympathetic to us to escape our country and pay for everything the way the U.S. does. Debbie B, hello everyone. Love from New Jersey. Boston Christian, say that again, please. I said, I wonder if we had problems in the United States and people wanted to flee this country for other countries, would the other countries allow us to immigrate into their country illegally and then basically write us a blank check the way our government is? It's crazy. I just don't understand it. I cannot. Moonlight View, no. The answer is no. No way they wouldn't, says Marie Green. So there's two answers for you. I agree with them. Boston Christian. Australia has the same problem. J.D. Bambara, nope. Hey, Kim, GTSY. Moonlight View was hidden by Richella Prancer. So you guys see the rain coming down. It's a rainy night in Georgia. Richard Resendez, don't go to Russia. Well, I think people know that. I think people know not to do that. But when I hear, I don't have the name at the tip of my tongue of the mayor of Washington, D.C., but she immediately asked for government funds, federal funds. And she asked the Pentagon for the National Guard to respond to all of these illegals coming into D.C. And the National Guard told her, no, we're not responding to your situation in Washington, D.C. And Washington, D.C. has a population of 700,000. And I believe Governor Abbott sent 7,000 illegals to Washington, D.C., and the mayor there is calling for the National Guard to relieve her of this problem. Amazing, you know. And and Eric Adams acts as if, oh, we're welcoming you, and what nonsense! Like, and then he's cursing out Governor Abbott. But what you're doing, Eric, is illegal. Being a sanctuary city is illegal. There's no such thing as a sanctuary city. It flouts federal law. So local law is going against federal law. Shouldn't federal law circumvent local law with this? I don't have any attorneys on the air right now, but you're screaming about the law, and meanwhile you're disobeying the law by making New York State and New York City a sanctuary city. Such hypocrisy. And you see Adams is walking out of the Port Authority like as if he's welcoming them to New York City, and he's got all these clowns behind him. You know, it's just like it's a clown show. This whole thing is a clown show. And then Adams has been arguing with Hochul, the governor appointed by Cuomo. You know, the disgraced governor who had to resign. He appointed Hochul, and Adams is now trying to take her on because of bail reform. And you know what her answer is when you talk about a political bullshit answer? She's going, oh, crime has risen across the nation because of the pandemic, not bail reform. I mean, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? But you know what the scary thing is that she'll probably get elected. That's what's scary, you know? I think in New York City, New York State, we just got to get people out to vote. People don't show up to vote. I think Moonlight View, that's bull. Yeah, it certainly is. In the last election, I think for de Blasio, only 16% of the vote came out to re-elect him. It's just crazy. And then you see who we have as district attorneys, and that was the other story I was covering the other day. Was Governor DeSantis has suspended the Florida State Attorney General because he's basically disobeying the law and doing what he wants to do. And he just showed how the governor can suspend this guy, and he did. So in the same way Hochul could suspend Bragg, which he should be suspended, because he's disobeying the law and doing what he wants. Deb, Josh, it's raining in New York. It certainly is. You can see it coming off my lanai or my gazebo or whatever the hell you call this thing. Boston Christian, this is so dangerous. Could you elaborate, Boston Christian? Matty Boy Sully, you are running. Boston Christian, I happen to agree with you, but I'd like you to elaborate a little bit on what do you mean by this is dangerous. I agree. I mean, this bail reform thing, you know, I keep going back to the case where the two kids in the subway beat up the cop and his partner. It was disgraceful, really. And Bragg, who said he would make it a priority, assaults against police officers and resisting arrest, he charged the kid as a juvenile. So, in essence, right to suspend the DA. No, the governor can get rid of the DA in New York. Yes, that is the law. And it's probably the law in every state. So Hochul, if she gets enough pressure and she's losing enough votes and she feels the heat, she absolutely will get rid of Bragg. But right now, she's not feeling enough heat. So if Lee Zeldin starts picking up votes and closes the gap, you'll see Hochul looking to where is she losing these votes? What's going on? She's clueless. You can tell. In regards to crime, she's 100% clueless. When they talk about guns, right, the first thing they say, oh, ghost guns are a big problem. That's their talking point. And I understand, I've talked to some people who work for the Manhattan DA's office, and they're told to use that as their talking point. Oh, these ghost guns, and people in the know say it's not ghost guns. It's the fact that the police on the street aren't stopping and questioning and frisking people. That's the problem. That's why there's guns out there. That's why 2-year-olds and 10-year-olds and 12-year-olds are getting shot, not because of ghost guns. Now, you folks at the DA's office and the mayor's office and the governor's office, you want to lie about it? Again, keep saying it's ghost guns, but it's not. And their second talking point is the Iron Pipeline, 95 north from Virginia and South Carolina and North Carolina. That's where the guns are coming from, you know. It's a very good day. Hey, hey, Sergeant Master Rapper Cannon. It was a good day. I did not have to use my AK. None of my friends got killed today. It was a very good day. Hey, hey. I never purported to be a master rapper. Just a supreme commander, but not a master rapper. Looks like the sun's coming out again. So the rain didn't last too long. Schmitty loves it. Jenna, do you like Larry Sharpe in New York? I do. There's a guy who's a friend of mine, Frank Pellegrino, and he's engaged to a comic named Chrissy Mayer, and they're big fans of Larry Sharpe, and they've held some rallies for him and put him on a podcast. So, you know, the problem is a lot of these politicians that come out of the woodwork, they don't have enough money for their campaigns, and they don't have enough traction. So for them to get elected to offices, you know, it's a real long shot. It's a real long shot. So 46 people in the chat, 32 with their thumbs up. We had crossed 50 and then people fled. I don't know. Was it the rain or is it something I said? Jenna says Larry is great. Larry Sharpe is great. I don't doubt that he is great. I really feel we need some new blood in these elections, you know. Dab Josh with 2 thumbs up. Cheers with my water. So, just crazy, crazy. I went this morning to physical therapy for my hip. And you ever go to, like, the guy who, like, stretches me out at the end? He's very good. But you ever give them, they take their thumb and they stick it into your leg and you're, like, in pain. And you want to, like, scream, but you just, like, endure the pain. And it hurts. It hurts, you know. Whenever you say that to a woman, they'll say, "Ow, what do you know about pain? Did you ever have a baby?" No, and I won't argue that. I know that's the most pain. Yes, Kim, I spoke to Duty Ron this morning, and he told me about that. Thank you very much. I did speak to him. Usually, Duty Ron and I speak. We speak at least once a day. Usually, not every day, but so let's see, 3-4 times a week we speak in the morning. Sandra Lee, what was New York City like when? Kathy, only pain worse is kidney stone. Thomas Jordan, you are the best, Bill. Thank you so much. Physiotherapy, I find you go in there, come out worse. Oh, God. You know. On the list for a new what? A new hip? I just got one. I just got it. I have 2 hips. I can't get any more hips. Had my left hip done 3.5 years ago. Had my right hip done just about 6 weeks ago. So I think I hope that's all the new parts I need for the rest of my life. But it seems, Dab Josh, I'm probably going to jump into the pool later. P. Doyle, oh, what was New York City like in the early Giuliani days? Crime was out of control. You know, when crime is out of control, somehow the citizenry gets to almost like accept it. And they don't think that this could be better, that this doesn't have to be this way. And in 1992, New York City had 2,200 murders. Can you imagine that? 2,200 murders. And again, most of it was due to the crack trade and, you know, drugs and drug dealers killing each other and that type of thing. But that's still not acceptable, right? Moonlight View, pretty soon Bill Vino time. I'm looking forward to that day. All that running you did as a cop, Bill. Yeah, you know something, times change, you know, and things come full circle sometimes, you know. They come full circle. If you want to, if you don't believe that, ask Lieutenant Peter Pranzo. He's seen it go one way, come back again, things are subject to change, and things get better. Things. Boston Christian, Kathy Hughes, thank you. Um, things change for the better. Hopefully that will happen. Look, we got the midterm elections coming up. Um, wow, the midterm elections coming up in November, right? And then 2024, we have a presidential election. Who thinks that Joe Biden will run? Does anyone think he's going to run, or are the Democrats going to get a new candidate? November, yes, the midterm elections this November, and then 2024 is the presidential election. Crazy, Schmitty, Petito's filed a $50 million lawsuit against the Moab police. Wow. We spent a lot of time talking about the Moab police and their conduct in regards to Gabby Petito and Brian Laundrie, and the second guessing. Should someone have been arrested? Should both of them have been arrested? Did they do a good job? Did they do a bad job? How would that have changed what occurred? If they would have arrested Gabby or arrested Brian or arrested both of them, would that have changed the outcome? I don't think so. Don't forget, Gabby wasn't killed till 2 weeks after that Moab police stop. So there was a lot of cooling off time, Kim Alliston, Sergeant Bill, do not think Joe Biden is fit enough to go forward for president. Kim Alliston, I agree with you. Do you think they're going to try to pull the wool over our eyes, or is there going to be some candidate comes out of the woodwork? Do you think that they could put Kamala Harris, or they could fool the electorate by putting her up as a candidate? Kathy Hughes, one of those weeks he went back to Florida. That's right, that's true. Boston Christian Schmitty, oh my. Moonlight View, God no. I guess that's in relation to Kamala Harris. Look, the whole case with the Gabby Petito case, and we'll just have to wait and see. The lawsuit against the Moab police, the Petitos suing the Laundries, and P. Doyle just saw a podcast on Rikers Island, should be shown in every school. Yeah, Rikers Island is a nasty place. I used to have to go there as a cop. I actually only went there once or twice, but that was enough. They would sometimes hold parole hearings on Rikers Island, and just crazy. It was like a big shopping mall where all the criminals just walked around like they were free. It was, and no wonder there was so much violence. They're just walking around Rikers Island like a shopping mall. What do you think of Scott from South Carolina saying he may run as Trump's VP? I think that if Trump runs again, he's going to have to pick the strongest vice president, and who knows? Ron DeSantis may get the nod as the nominee. This January 6th thing isn't over. Trump could still have some legal problems with that. I'm sure they're going to try to prevent him from running. But I would tell you the truth, in my opinion, I would rather see Ron DeSantis be the candidate. Kim Allison, perhaps Hillary Clinton will run again. I think that's a distinct possibility. I really do. I think she has a sour taste in her mouth from the election that against Trump, where she views she got 2 million more votes but still lost. I think that she very well may run. if she can convince the Democrat power structure that she's the best candidate, you may see Hillary run again, you know, and Bill Clinton will be the first lady. I always love to say that, you know. How about Michelle Obama? She could throw her hat into the race, although she's probably enjoying the fat cat lifestyle that they're enjoying now. Candace Owens, yeah, potentially a good candidate. Schmitty, oh Lord, no and no. I guess you're talking about Michelle Obama and Hillary Clinton. Oh no, oh no, oh no. Hard to handle. Hello, Bill. Guys, if you're not subscribed to Police Off the Cuff Real Crime Stories, go on our YouTube, hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, give us a thumbs up. It's free. It's free to subscribe to us on YouTube. The only time it costs money is if you go on our Patreon and you become one of our Patreon members. There's 3 different levels. Or if you become our YouTube channel member, there's 5, count them. Oh, no, I don't want to be 10. There's 5 different levels. So if you want to help us out and support us, YouTube channel. You see all the folks with the green font in the chat, they're part of our YouTube channel members. We appreciate the hell out of them. We really do. Matty Boy Sully, the yard looks good, doesn't it? And they didn't cut the grass this week. Usually they cut the grass every Friday, but I don't know, they didn't show up Friday. I don't know what happened. Schmitty, yep, I'm on the bucket list. That's good. I'm moving to Ireland, Matty Boy Sully. I say either Candace Owens or Sarah Huckabee Sanders. Those 2 women are worthy. You know who's been mentioned as a Republican candidate for vice president? Nikki Haley. Very sharp woman, very well spoken, good credentials. So she's been mentioned. Who knows? Who knows who's going to run? It's far away, right? Nikki Haley is beautiful too. Yeah, she's a good-looking lady. What was she, head of the CIA? She was head of, was it the CIA? I know she had some big job. Nikki Haley lacks charisma, someone just said. Hey, you can't have it all, you know. You bring what you can to the table. I don't know. It's crazy. So a big issue. Barty, hello, Barty. You know, a big issue, of course, for the midterm elections, which is, of course, this November, is crime. You know, crime's a big issue. And all of a sudden, people that never cared about crime are pretending they care about it, you know. And so that's a big issue. Defund the police. You don't hear anyone say that anymore, right? You don't hear anyone say, oh, defund the police. In New York City, we have some big issues regards to Barty. She was the head of the UN. Kim Alliston, hello. Can't be a well-known secret agent. Who is the best mayor of New York during your career, in your opinion? Look, I would have to say Giuliani, because he brought the city back from extreme levels of crime and violence. But you talk to any cop that was on the job during the Ed Koch days, almost every cop liked Ed Koch. We all did, even though during his tenure as mayor, crime was out of control and there was a lot of corruption. I don't think he was corrupt, but there was a lot of corruption in his administration. But he was very, very supportive of the police, and cops loved him. When he retired as mayor or stepped down, he visited every police precinct in the city and signed the log and took pictures with cops. How many mayors are that friendly with the police? He was. he loved the police, you know. And now I think it's sort of fashionable to not like the police, you know, uh, to go against the police, to, you know, be the opposite of who the police and what the police represent. Even Eric Adams was a police captain. But if you ask anyone, and I did not work with Eric Adams. Eric Adams was in Brooklyn, and I believe he started out in transit. But you talk to anyone that knew Eric Adams as a cop, they don't have good things to say about him. And that's just a fact. I'm not saying that I know for a fact, and I knew him, I didn't. But you talk to anyone that worked with him, and you won't hear a good word come out of their mouth about Eric Adams, his career as a police officer. It was basically, he was an activist. He started that organization, 100 Blacks in Law Enforcement Who Care, and that's how he spent all his time on the police department, running that organization, which by police department guidelines is against the rules. You're not allowed to get involved in any political organizations when you're a uniformed cop that go against the police department. You can't speak against the police department for another organization while you're a member of the police department. That just makes sense, right? Hard to handle. Kim Allison, I just woke up, coffee going, some stranger at the gas station bought my purchase last night. I was shocked. DJ Moore, I am for the police. Marilyn Moneta, hello, good afternoon, Bill, and all my friends in the chat. Wow, some guys are just waking up now. We had 60 in the chat, 51 thumbs up. Now we're back to 57. James Morris Adams went on police department to cause trouble. Very possible. But he used that as a vehicle to get where he is today, right? He's planning. He did well. He did well. After his police career, he was the Brooklyn borough president. He used that as a stepping stone to mayor. And who knows? He'll be almost guaranteed to be mayor for 8 years, because who's going to beat him? No Democrat will run against him. And unless the city becomes invaded by some aliens and crime is beyond control, he'll get reelected. You know, he'll definitely get reelected. Well, you can't say definitely, but he's pretty much a shoo-in to get reelected. So guys, how's everyone doing today? Sorry, it's 3:30 a.m. here. Wow. When the guy climbed the electric pole, did you guys hear that across the street from the White House in Washington, D.C., 4 people got struck by lightning? 3 of them died. 1 is in critical condition. They always say that when they use something as, oh, that could never happen. They say that's as likely as getting struck by lightning. And here's 4 people in the same incident that got struck by lightning. Crazy, right? That expression, oh, that's about as likely as being struck by lightning. Well, these 4 people got struck by lightning, you know. Wonder what it's like if you survive getting struck by lightning. Is your whole body electricity changed for the rest of your life? It must change you, right? It must be crazy, you know. But nutty. So let's get back to anyone got any topics they'd like to talk about right now? I know I brought up the illegal immigration and Governor Abbott sending, they don't call them illegal immigrants anymore. All of a sudden they're called migrants. And they don't put the word illegal in front of the word migrant. They just say, P. Doyle, did you work with John Timoney? Bill was a legend here on the chat scene. You know, I worked during the career of John Timoney. He was the first deputy commissioner. And I think he was also chief of department during my tenure. But I didn't know him. I have friends that know him. And he was a legendary cop. He was actually a real cop in the street before he made it up the ranks. He passed tests and came up through the ranks. He was I believe he was a cop in the 4-4 or the 4-6. I think maybe it was the 4-4. And he had a great reputation. I believe he was a Medal of Valor recipient. So he was the real deal. He had a brother named Kieran, who was a lieutenant in narcotics. So Phil Grimaldi, hello, Bill. My house got struck by lightning. There's Phil. Phil's cooking the pasta, and his house gets struck by lightning. You believe that? I don't know. Pauline Buckles, Schmitty, laugh out loud. Jamie Pimentel, High Lieutenant Pranzo, and Detective Grimaldi. Bill and Phil show. Phil, wow, scary. Your house getting struck by lightning. Yeah. I mean, there's nothing more powerful, right? Nice man versus popular. Thanks for the info. Phil Grimaldi, we were on the air when hit. Wow. That's when our numbers started to decline after that night. Bill, your thoughts on Ann Hetch? I mean, I saw that she was involved in a car accident the other night by a house. I don't know if she crashed into a house. I haven't heard the follow-up. Was she intox? I don't know. She's a hell of an actress. I don't know much follow-up to this story. You know, I try to follow most stories, but like a story like that, to me, that's sort of like I don't know, it's like a National Enquirer story. Elwood, Indiana, Noah Sonoran. Is that the guy wanted for those murders? He ambushed the cop? And Hesh, crazy story. Kathy Hughes, yes, hit that thumbs up. 60 in the chat, 58 with the thumbs up. Hi, Bill. Pleasure to see you again. You're the highlight of my day, Rosemary. Thank you, Rosemary. Diane Krause, what's the chances of 4 people getting struck at the same time? Very scary, yeah. Peter Pranzo is good friends with the late John Timoney. John Timoney passed away a number of years ago. You know, I think he was overseas in the Middle East running security. I forget the name of the city. It's the real popular city now that's really modern. I think he was working over there. Hard to handle, I'm tired, but didn't forget my thumbs up for Bill. Cheers, guys. 61 in the chat, 62 thumbs up. You know, I'm not even going to say, can we reach 100 today? Because I think I jinx it when I say that. What are your overall thoughts on Los Angeles crime and the way Gascon is handling it? I think it's pathetic, and I think New York City is pathetic in the same way. And if they don't turn New York City around soon, it's going to become LA. You get too many of these woke morons. They start pushing for people to live on the street. They got bail reform. They start siding with criminals over the police. In no time, New York City can be LA, you know. And that's just a warning. Sandra Fox, a 2-week break on the Cruz trial. Yeah, there was something saying that he had an inheritance that precluded him from being represented by legal aid. Because to be represented by legal aid, you have to have no money and have no ability to pay them. But apparently he had an inheritance of like $450,000, which would have precluded him from getting legal aid, a legal aid attorney. The Petito filed a lawsuit against the Moab police. That's what I'm hearing now. I didn't look at it firsthand, but I'm hearing that. Throw in activist DAs and judges. It sends a message there is no accountability. That's from DJ Moore. Schmitty, I had no electricity, nothing else to do but watch the... too fast. You guys, I got to take the Evelyn Wood speed readers course, you know. Hard to handle. Kim Allison, Bill told me stay positive yesterday, so I did. Cheers. It's always good to stay positive, right? Cruz should burn in hell. Pure evil, says Detective Phil. Wow. S. Carolini. Hello from Midcoast, Maine, USA. Arriving late. Welcome. Make sure you're in the chat. Maine. Wow, Maine's a beautiful state. But the water, one thing about the water in Maine, it's freezing. That water, forget about it. That's why it's a good lobster area, because lobsters like cold water, right? Fonda Milanesis, I don't think Petito has a case against the police. You know, Fonda Milanesis, sometimes you think that, but a lot of municipalities, they just settle. They write a check because they don't want to take the case to trial. And that's New York City. New York City settles so many civil cases because they don't want to spend the money to fight it, you know. Crazy. 67 thumbs up here. All right. Looking good, Bill. How you feeling? I'm feeling good. I went to my physical therapy this morning. Got to take my mile walk later on. Get out there. It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day. I did not have to use my AK. Michelle Siriano just getting on chat. 68 thoughts on the store owner in Norco, California who shot the intruder in the arm. I think that's great. There's a thing in the penal law called justification. If someone is going to prevent or terminate a robbery, to prevent or terminate deadly physical force being used against you, you can use deadly physical force. It's perfectly legit. I'm hearing that in New York City, you better be careful with that because the district attorney's office wants to prosecute civilians, innocent civilians, so bad that they don't care what these facts and circumstances are. Look at the bodega. He wanted to indict that guy for murder. How ridiculous was that? You've been watching the video. Oh, Bragg really wanted to arrest and prosecute this guy for murder? That's scary. When you got a district attorney like that, that's scary. That means he has no respect for the law. None at all, you know. Michelle Siriano, hello, Peter Pranzo. Did you see the smoke shop owner in Las Vegas? He stabbed a robber to death. Crazy world. Flatbush, Brooklyn. Yeah. Lots of violence in this damn world, you know. Too much violence. Life is cheap in certain areas, you know. Look, if they take away the right of a civilian to protect himself, herself, that's the rule of law. That when they talk about the rule of law, if we get away from the rule of law, we'll have anarchy in our society. That's one of the most important rules of law that there is. The right to defend yourself and your family. And that intersects right with the Second Amendment, you know. If I always bring this up and some people, you know, they shake their head, but during those 2 years of riots that the other side called peaceful protests, people were being attacked in their homes. Police were being attacked. And the other side refused to acknowledge it. The other side refused to allow the police to do their job to protect the civilians. Therefore, what does that mean? What that means, you need to be armed. You need to own your own gun because the government refuses to protect you. That was perfectly evident during those 2 years of riots that they called peaceful protests. So if you don't believe what I'm saying is correct, that's why everyone these days is buying a gun, because they saw what happened. They saw that, and they hear some of these left-wing politicians talking about gun confiscation. That will never happen in this country. That will be the second American Revolution. If they tried to do that, gun confiscation, it's not going to ever happen. And when you see people like Buttigieg talking about that, dude, you better wake up. You better wake up. And who are you going to use to confiscate these guns? The police? The police are against it. The police are pro-Second Amendment. So you're going to use someone who's pro-Second Amendment to confiscate the guns of the population? I don't think so. Kathy Hughes, I don't think so either. Marilyn Minetta, hello to the Pranzos. Hard to handle. Wow, look at these. You know, I'm not seeing a lot of the people from Ireland, England, Australia, South Africa. Maybe they tired of me. I don't know. Maybe they don't like this show anymore. Don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing gonna be alright. Rise up this morning, smile with the rising sun. 3 little birds perched on my doorstep, singing sweet songs of melodies pure and true, singing, this is my message to you. Don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing gonna be alright. Bob Marley, the best. Needed to hear that song today, Kim Alliston. It was funny. When I used to teach at this college, Monroe, there was a lot of people from Jamaica, people from the Caribbean, and this girl that worked there, she invited me to a party, and I was the only white person there, and it was all these Jamaican women, these Jamaican guys, and I broke into that song in front of the whole crowd, and at first they didn't know what to think. They're like, "Who the hell is this white boy singing this song?" You know. And next thing I know, they were all singing along with me, and it sort of broke the ice. It was great. You know, it was great. Hard to handle smiling. You know. They play a weird game, the Jamaicans. It's a combination of basketball and soccer and what the hell's the name of it again? Uh, but this girl that worked for me, why am I remembering her name? She was fucking big and strong. She invited me. I think it was her birthday, and I went to it, and it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun being in a situation like that, you know. Don't worry about a thing. You have to say ting if you're trying to be authentic to Bob Marley, because he doesn't say thing, he says ting, right? So that's what I do. Uh, the answer to high crime is directed police enforcement, follow-up prosecution, and incarceration. Yeah. Michelina Sereno, great song, Bill. Thank you. I love that whole that whole CD. Now no one has CDs anymore, but Bob Marley's greatest hits, just great songs. Uh, what a legend he was, right? Uh, Audio a bit iffy. My audio right now is a bit iffy. Wow, no one said that today. I got my microphone right here. Uh, Anyone else having a problem hearing me? Uh, no one said that yet today. Don't worry. Yes, everything's going to be all right. That's right. Everything's going to be all right. We we used to always sing that tune by not Bob Marley. Who's the other great? Jimmy Cliff, or it was like, down, Preston man, where you gonna run to? Down, Preston man, where you gonna run? You can take it to the sea, but the sea will be boiling. You can take it to the sea, but the sea will be boiling. Down, Preston man, where you gonna run to? We used to sing that at work. We got a lot of laughs, you know. E. Carolini, I still have that CD at Schmitty. Guys, I don't know how I'm at 48 minutes. I'm going to hit 50 and I'm going to say goodbye. Wow, I can't believe I stayed on the air so damn long. But you guys inspire me just to have a conversation. Phil Grimaldi, a little choppy at times, but good. Okay. I'm not sure what the hell that is today. Could be my Wi-Fi. Could be that I have the fans on out here. I don't know. I don't know what the heck it is. But Kim Allison, God bless Sergeant Bill. Thank you. Sandra Foxell, no. Now it's okay, Bill. Thanks. Phil Grimaldi, you're a natural. Bill, Phil, I want to do a show today about 4 or 5 on the migrants coming from Texas into New York and into Washington, D.C. I think we could have a really good show on that, a good conversation on that. Just let me know. Text me after the show is over. Let me know which one of those times is good for you, 4 or 5. Love is everywhere. God bless the Supreme Commander. Thank you, hard to handle. Good to see all you guys. Ruth Ann Griffin, Schmitty, ooh, Detective Phil, put on your calendar, call for duty. Oh, great, yes, it'll be a great show. Thank you, guys. You know, Sandra Fox, did you take requests, Bill? Sometimes those songs just pop into my mind, and that's the way I sort of like it, you know. I like it when a song just pops into my mind and I sing it. It's more, I don't know, it makes me feel better to do it that way. Guys, I want to say have a great afternoon. It was fun coming out here and talking to you. I did it on the opposite side. And have a great day, everyone. Bye now.